Hi everyone, Renmark here with an album review of this new BUCKLOV album, Polaris. Uh, this album was recently released by Houston rapper Giovanni Buckley, aka BUCKLOV, who has been on SoundCloud for quite a while and has just recently decided to release some of his stuff onto bigger platforms such as Apple Music, Spotify, the lot. So now that he has an official release, I've decided that I would like to review it, go over it, say what I think about it. So I'd like to start going track by track and then giving my overall opinion on this album. So we're going to start with the first track, Wicked Flows. Um, One thing I notice about this song, and it's going to be a recurring thing in this album, is that BUCKLOV uses the phrase, honestly though, way too much. It's incredibly excessive and it gets annoying quick. There are some strange bars on here, like "Call me Johnny Sins, 'cause I be running and a chillin'." Like I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. And also shiftin', 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 shiftin' sounds a little strange with the vocal effect applied. Um, the vocal mix for the most part is inconsistent on this song, and the slowed outro is pretty goofy as well, I'd say. The beat is alright, and the flow is too. On the next song, First Blood, I actually quite like this beat a lot, but unfortunately, it's degraded by the mixing on this track, which I don't think is very good at all. Around a little bit after the beginning of the song, the drums start to overpower the vocals a little too much, and the percussion gets a little grating on the ears. Again, there's also other problems with mixing. There's air in the vocal mix that you can, well, it's very easy to hear. And for some reason, BUCKLOV is saying mush, mush, mush at the outro like he's talking to a dog. Um, and so I don't know. I think this song's a little strange, but the beat is the saving grace here. The mixing leaves a lot to be desired and needs to be done with more consideration in the future, I'd say. On to the next track, Six. It's the same problem here with the inconsistent vocal mix. And some parts of this song, it's too quiet. Other parts, it's just too loud. The subject matter of this song is painfully edgy stuff related to the devil and suicide and death, and it's just I don't know. I think it's a little edgy. And there's also the same problem with air uh, being able to be heard in the vocal mix. And also, this sounds like BUCKLOV created a new genre of music in a way. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard anything like this before, but his vocal register, like for rapping, is really, really low. And so it kind of reminded me of Mongolian throat singing. So perhaps BUCKLOV just created the first ever Mongolian throat rapping song, because that's what I think this sounds like. Not a huge fan. On the next song, Hope of a Narc, there's this strange breathing introduction that I'm not a huge fan of. And there's also a panning problem on this song, where the vocal mix is just not done very well. And so in some parts of the song, like you can hear the vocals only in the right earbud and then only in the left earbud, and it just switches and it sounds strange. The vocals also get far too loud around the middle of the song. Also, the phrase "hit this shit" is overused way too often in this song, and on subsequent tracks it is also used a little too often. And I'm not entirely sure what the lyrics on this song even mean. Like, I'd say this song has the most nonsensical lyrics so far. I just don't understand at all. On to the next song, a meme of R.I.P. There's a kind of strange vocal effect that is prominent during this song that I really am not enjoying very much. It sounds like an AI was used to rap over the beat, and it that is even further. How do I say this? Crap. further proved by the fact that the rapping is not on beat for the majority of this song. And so, I don't know, it just sounds like something a robot would make, something an AI would make, doesn't sound like a human. Yeah, so this is not one of my favorites on this album. No Closet, No GangZODIACC is the next song. While I do think some parts of this song are okay, like the flow, the mixing is actually not bad on this song. There are still some elements that leave a lot to be desired. For example, this song has, I'd say, blatantly ableist lyrics, like he uses the word crip quite a bit. Also, the outro is goofy, like some of the other ones, and is also offbeat. Moving on to Contemplating Constantine. And I have a lot to say about this song. I really am not a fan of the mixing here. I think it's awful from the start. Particularly starting maybe 15 seconds or so after the song, there's a beat drop, and then the vocals are extremely quiet, and the beat is very, very loud, and it's just grating and agitating to the ears. It's very kind of painful. Once again, there's air in the vocal mix, and I just think this is the worst mixing on the album so far. The beat is extremely loud. I do not think very favorably of this song at all. And finally, on the closer, You Not Switchin'. In this track, there's the opposite mixing problem. The vocals are far too loud, and the beat is way too quiet, which is a shame because the beat is actually not bad. But it doesn't really matter anyway because it's just too quiet. The vocals overpower it, and they're very jarring, abrasive, and to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this rapping style in particular. Sometimes it sounds like nails on a chalkboard, I'd say. So I don't know. It's just kind of hard on the ears. And this outro is just goofy. Like, if I don't want to repeat what he said at the end, but it's just goofy. Overall, thoughts. Issues with mixing on many tracks. For the most part, rapping is too abrasive. Lyrics are meaningless for the most part. Half of the lyrics are either nonsense, profane phrases, or honestly, though. Beats are mostly ranging from okay to decent, but only sound so if the mixing is not done improperly. And in the second half of the album, the songs start to blend in a little and sound a little samey, and not really in a good way, and that's because he just uses like the same vocal effect and has the same subject matters about this edginess stuff. And the flow, the rapping flow really does not change that much throughout the entire album, if at all. Of course, there's that consistent problem of air in the vocal mix that I think needs to be revised. And of course, there's the Mongolian throat rapping. So, my final thoughts on here, I would not say this was a very enjoyable album. I did not really like this that much. There was a few highlights that were briefly scattered across the album, but they were few and far between. I would say that I would give this album a 1 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, you should subscribe to my channel, and like this video too. Thank you.